Hi, I'm Brian Brodeur, and we are here at East Main Media. We have put together a wonderful panel discussion today celebrating Passaic Valley Regional High School's 80 years of excellence. Let me introduce you to who has joined us today. We have Totowa Mayor John Coiro, Little Falls Mayor James Damiano, and Woodland Park Mayor Keith Kazmark. Also joining us is Dr. Joanne Cardillo, Superintendent of Passaic Valley. So, Dr. Cardillo, tell me about some of the opportunities that are available at PV.
So PV has two career and technical ed programs. One of them in our broadcasting, which is directly linked to PVTV and our Good Morning Hornets show, and our CTE program that's developed in engineering. In the last 5 years, our top 10 students have, many of them, been accepted to Ivy League schools. So we have that range. Actually, our valedictorian this year was accepted to Wharton Business School. We also have students who are seeking careers in the trades. So our range of preparing students is very wide.
Now, something even more interesting is you have partnerships with universities and other education organizations. Tell me about that. It's really interesting.
Yes, our partnerships are broad. While we do have students who are going off to Ivy League schools or accepted to Ivy League schools, we also have students who take advantage of the strong relationships that we have with Montclair State University, William Patterson, Eastwick Trade School, Bergen Community College, and Passaic County Community College.
Well, sounds like there's lots of exciting things going on.
Yes, every day there are some exciting things happening, and students are learning and enjoying themselves.
And now to our moderator, Alexandra Paese.
Hi, Mayor Coiro. Thank you so much for being here today.
Sure, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Mayor Damiano. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and really looking forward to it.
And Mayor Kazmark, thank you for being here today.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Mayor Coiro, can you tell us about when you attended PV and what your favorite memory from high school?
I graduated Passaic Valley, 1977. And there's probably a lot of memories that I have of high school. Probably my favorite memory, because it was so consistent, is the meetings we had before our first class, before the first bell. All our friends would get together every morning. We'd discuss what we're going to do that day, and we'd discuss what we're going to do that night. And so it was a good meeting place for all of us.
Mayor Damiano?
I was a proud graduate of the class of 2004 from Passaic Valley, and I can tell you one of the greatest highlights that I can recall from high school was being part of the PVTV crew that broadcast the first live girl show. And as you know, girl show in this community is always an exciting time of year. It's always an exciting event to attend. And when we were able to broadcast this to all of the communities over PVTV, although it's nothing like it was today, I remember the excitement that there was in the atmosphere in the community leading up to Girl Show that year. It was definitely one of my greatest memories in high school.
Mayor Kazmark?
So I graduated class of 1996. I'm not going to mention that Mayor Coiro graduated before James or I were born, but that's okay. But I have to tell you, my entire experience at PV was positive. I'm one of those few people who would go back and do it all over again if I could. So from, football games to girl show to congregating in Center Hall, like John alluded to, the entire experience for me was a positive one. I go back if I could.
Mayor Damiano, can you tell us about how PV prepared you for your future endeavors?
I'm a big believer in you get out what you put in. And I remember I went to school every day at Passaic Valley, putting in everything that I had, always giving it 100%. And as a result of that, I feel I got a lot out of Passaic Valley over the years. I made sure that I participated in every single activity that there was. I made sure that I was involved with all of the groups, and I always took classes that leaned towards legal studies and legal sciences. I remember always enrolling in those types of classes, and it really did put me on track to do exactly what it was that I always wanted to do in life, become an attorney.
Mayor Kazmark?
So I don't know if I'd be sitting here if it was not for the political and economics class that I took my senior year with Paul Holscher, who was a social studies teacher at PV. He's also was then and is now the mayor of Harrington Park in Bergen County. But he taught that class. And our homework from Labor Day until Election Day was to log 10 hours a week into a political campaign as a volunteer. And I think that is what sparked me to want to get involved in politics, ultimately land a career in government. And that, without question, has brought me to where I am today.
Mayor Coiro?
So similar to what Mayor Damiano said, I took a lot of classes that, for me, broadened my scope. It wasn't a single focus or a single idea, right? So it was more liberal arts, if you will, in the beginning, my first few years here. But then as time went on, I took a class, and it was either my junior or senior year. It was an accounting class, and I still remember the gentleman's name, Mr. Stanisi. And he was teaching us accounting, debits, credits, and I just, because of my logical nature, I think, I fell in love with it, and I became an accountant and a CPA, which is what I still do today.
Mayor Kazmark, can you tell us how you're currently involved at PV?
Well, as mayor, we're constantly working with both of our sister communities, working with the superintendent of schools. I think for us, one of the greatest partnerships that we've been able to establish over the last number of years is the partnership with PV and our stigma-free task force. Obviously, now with COVID, some of the challenges that especially our teenagers face with regard to depression, mental health awareness, that partnership's really important to me. The task force began in 2016 after there were 5 suicides in Woodland Park. And leadership in the community was looking for a way to try to educate the public about the importance of mental health and the issues surrounding stigmas. And Dr. Cardillo has been a great partner, along with the faculty and staff at PV, of trying to spread that message about the fact that we can't hide from mental health issues and we have to tackle them straight on.
Mayor Coiro?
In addition to what Mayor Kazmark said, I think also what's been happening more lately is the 3 sending districts get together, their superintendents get together, and work with the current superintendent, with Dr. Cardillo, and trying to become more uniform. And I think we're trying to introduce the concept of sort of a 3-town, if you will, community to our communities. So to encourage our students to come here, learn here, as we all did, and that way bring PV, keep moving into the future.
And Mayor Damiano?
So unfortunately, over the past 12 months, Little Falls' involvement has been a bit too much with Passaic Valley, in the sense that the health department has been extremely involved because of COVID. But aside from that, on a regular basis, I love being a part of the PV community, attending football games on a regular basis, being a frequent flyer at wrestling matches, and all the various activities and events. I can say, absent my years that I was residing at college and not living here at home, I've almost never missed a girl show at PV. It's still something that, again, it brings this community together. And the overlap that we have with the other sending districts, along with my fellow mayors, the energy and the excitement about having one sister school that we all send our children to from all 3 communities has been, it's, again, always exciting. I've really enjoyed the process of working with everybody in the administration at PV to make what we have happen here at PV happen every single day.
If you could describe PV in 3 words, what would they be?
I think it would be academics, athletics, and fun.
Mayor Damiano?
I'm going to preface my answer a little bit too by saying that if you've gone to Passaic Valley, you'll know what I mean. And the 3 words that I would use to describe PV are green and white.
And Mayor Kazmark?
Pride, spirit, and community.
Is there anything that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Sure, the one thing that I can tell you that I am most excited for is that I cannot wait for my own kids to attend Passaic Valley High School, to graduate from the same school that I went to and my parents went to, and to really see, again, what they get out of it. Because I know what you put in is what you get out. And if you give it your all, Passaic Valley really is the place to be.
Mayor Kazmark?
There's a saying in the Passaic Valley community that you bleed green. And without question, I think if you have attended Passaic Valley and you've graduated there and your children have had the opportunity to go there, and now we have people's grandkids and great-grandkids who are graduating from the halls of Passaic Valley, you truly understand what it means to bleed green. And that's why we still have people who, generations gone by, still going to football games, still going to Girl Show each and every year, because there is a lot of pride and spirit when it comes to the green and white here at Little Falls Total in Woodland Park.
And Mayor Coiro?
So I really enjoyed my time here back in the 70s. Yeah. But I really did enjoy my time, and I am so happy both of my children attended school here, graduated school here, both went on to very fine universities, have terrific jobs. So when you're in a family like that, you know, we're all Hornets, and you can see it, and you see the pride of other people who went to school here and are Hornets. And, you know, we hope to pass that on. I don't know about my grandchildren, if they'll be coming here or not, but I was certainly happy that my children did attend here.
Thank you so much for being here today, Mayor Coiro.
You're welcome. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for being here today, Mayor Damiano.
Thank you. I had a good time.
And thank you so much for being here today, Mayor Kazmark.
Thank you. It was great to be here to share our memories about Passaic Valley.
I just want to say thank you again to everyone for joining us today. And none of this would have been possible if not for Miss Roberts, our teacher of broadcasting, and for Miss Palmieri, our supervisor of our career and technical education programs at PV. And thank you to Dr. Cardillo for establishing these partnerships to give the students at PV real-world experiences.